Hello, I'm Scott Bogie here with your fighter Jacob Diaz ahead of his upcoming fight against Roland Pruden. How are you doing today?
Good man, good. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing good, thank you very much. And how are you feeling ahead of this fight?
Feeling good, man. Feeling sharp. Been working everything, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, kickboxing. Feeling sharp, feeling fast, feeling strong. So no complaints.
And how do you see this fight, like stylistically?
Stylistically, I see it as a fun fight. Roland likes to stand and bang. I like to stand and bang. There's been a couple. I think we each have one professional fight where we've clinched and grappled.
Yeah,
So for the most part, I don't think I'll get a more willing dance partner than Roland, and vice versa, coming my way. But it's gonna be fun, man. We're gonna stand, we're gonna bang. I'm hoping that we could give the people of Memphis and the people watching at home a great fight, great show to remember for years to come.
exactly. And going back to your last fight, you were able to go down to Argentina, get the victory, get the title in the first round. How was that experience for you?
Uh, that experience was surreal, man. I'm part Argentinian, so that's it's in my blood, my
Yeah,
roots. It was awesome to be able to go and see, part of my people and their culture and meet so many welcoming, nice people, and then to be able to fight on that stage for that title was a blessing. I took that fight on 2 weeks' notice. Not a lot of
yeah.
people know that. I cut 30 pounds in 2 weeks and we got in there, we got to work, and I was able to get it done in one. But it was from the moment I landed to the moment I left, it was an amazing experience, and I can't thank anyone and everyone who had anything to do with it enough.
And that was your first professional title in MMA. You were able to collect belts as an amateur, but how good was it being able to get your hands on that first professional belt?
Oh man, that was awesome. So I had um I had like a thing going on with my grandfather who's passed away. Every time I got an amateur bout, I would take it to him and we would take a really cool picture with him. Um, Unfortunately, he passed away about a year and a half ago. So when I won that belt, it was bittersweet. Like I was happy I
Yeah,
got my first professional belt, but you see me actually get a little emotional in the cage because I started thinking about it. Like, damn, I'm not gonna be able to take this picture. Um, and I actually do have a picture on my Instagram. It's a little funny of me and like his memorial where his ashes are, and we're
yeah,
just hanging out with the belt, and so it's cool, man. It was awesome, and I know he's looking down on me, proud. Can't wait to get another one.
exactly. And we are very sorry to hear that about your grandfather.
Well, I appreciate
What
it.
what has been the biggest improvement since that fight to here?
Oh man, we're talking February to June. 4 months doesn't seem like a long time, but it's a long time. It's a long time if you're in the gym twice a day, every day. Biggest improvements, man. I just gotta say overall conditioning. I'm a little melted ice cream cone in the Argentina fight. I cut 30 pounds in 2 weeks, a little too big. I'm going back down to 155,
Yeah,
My strength and conditioning has been serious. My sprints have been serious. My weights have been serious. Everything has been serious. We're tightening up. I'm just I'm more physically capable now than I was in February.
exactly. And this is the first time you will be back down to 155 since September 2024. Just what was it that has made you go back down to the lightweight division?
Well, I never necessarily intended to leave, right? I after that September fight in I think 2022 it was
2024.
2020, yeah, it's 2024. In 2024, I had yeah, I lost the fight in September, and I kind of just I had like a whole crash out mentally, emotionally, was going through some stuff, and then I switched gyms and I had fractured my elbow and gained a lot of weight, just let myself go. So I was walking around at 245, which is a big boy. So I made my way back down to 170, hung out there, did the three fights in 6 weeks. did the Argentina fight and then realized after rewatching the Argentina fight, that's not what a fighter's supposed to look like. So went back down to our natural weight class, tired of fighting the big boys.
Exactly. And am I correct in saying you're now training out of the goat shed?
Mm.
And how has that been for your development?
Oh man, the coach has been good, man. Great for my development. Guys pushing me harder. We have a really technical approach to the game, and a lot of people don't understand that because they see the Instagram and they see all the, we'll call it shenanigans, that we're known for, but we have a very very cerebral and technical approach to this fight game, and everything down to the smallest details of every technique, every scenario, every situation, every counter, is accounted for, and it's truly just made me a smarter fighter and a harder fighter too, man, because we're pushing each other in there every day.
Exactly. And you've got that quality in there. You've got those UFC fighters. How has it been to be able to just see where you are, like what compared to them, to like the level between you two?
Oh, it's awesome, man. When I first got there, I was getting my ass handed to me every single day, and now it's only every other day. So we're getting there, slowly but surely, baby steps, and a couple more fights in the regional scene. I see myself joining them. So
And what do you feel like has been the best piece of advice that you have picked up?
the best piece of advice, uh, take it seriously, man. There is no half in, half out. There is no. I'll tell you exactly. Mike Ritchie, man. Mike Ritchie's my new head coach. He trained at TriStar. With GSP and Warren McDonald in their time, and he was on the Ultimate Fighter in the UFC, PFL. You know, he told me, man, if this is something that you want to do, fight camp isn't a thing anymore. This is a lifestyle, So there's no more fight camp. There's stay ready, don't have to get ready, and it's just my life. So that's probably the best piece of advice that I've gotten from anyone. That's really, you know, shifted my approach and shifted me as an athlete, a fighter, and everything.
I mean, after this fight, after you're able to go out there and get the victory, that will be you 7-2 on riding a 5-fight win streak. When are you wanting to get back into the cage, and what are you wanting next? Are you wanting that contender series fight, or what are you wanting?
Hey, man, if I get a contender series fight, that'd be awesome, right? But those things aren't handed out to just anyone now. I'm actually a manager for pro fighters when I'm not fighting myself, so I know those contender series fights are not easy to come up on. And I would get it, man. Especially I go out, I finish this fight, I'll be 5-5 win streak, 2 titles, 4 finishes, and 1 dominant decision. I see the appeal, but there are guys out there that have done that and some. So realistically, prepare for the worst, hope for the best, right? Like I see myself having to knock out another 3 to 4 um pro fights. We'll walk around, we'll collect some belts, we'll go get one over there, one over here, maybe one UFC fight pass. We'll see where it takes me, man. Whatever fights look the most fun, see where we get to travel, where we get to see, who we get to fight. And we'll just keep collecting belts and wins until we make ourselves inevitable and we get that shot. Now that being said, we get the call, we're happy, we take it, but if not, we're ready to keep going, man. It's a journey. It's about the journey, and a lot of people, I feel, struggle to stop and look around every now and then,
Yeah.
and really take it all in. But I'm blessed to be on this journey and see the things I've seen, and I know it's not even done. So incredibly blessed, and I know that God's timing beats mine. So whenever I'm ready, everything will come together.
And do you feel like having that mindset of just trying to stay grounded, just taking it one step at a time, not looking too far ahead, is what's keeping you on the correct path? You're not trying to jump too far into the future.
Yeah, man, of course, like. I'd be a fucking idiot to start planning what's after Roland, you know? That's stupid, you know, and then disrespectful to Roland. You know, he's a hell of an athlete, 7-2. You know, his only losses are to really good guys. You know, same as me, and he's got a set list of problems he presents me with that I got to go in there and I got to solve. So for me to look past him is stupid. I got that that fight that I got to go and I got to win June 13th, and then you sit down with coaches and management and you figure out what's next from there, man. It's you got to do you know the mission at hand has got to be the only thing. If I can't be, I'm gonna win this fight, and you've seen it so many times. I'm gonna win this fight, and then I'm gonna go do that, and then blink. So I'm not, man. I'm concentrated on the tough opponent I got in front of me, and I'm honestly just excited to be in there and go do the man dance with him, man.
Exactly. And what was it that kind of brought you into the sport?
So I grew up a little stupid and fighting every day. Sometimes you get bullied, defend yourself. Sometimes tempers flare. And during COVID, I got big, so I was at 273. And I knew I always liked to fight. I knew I always liked to watch fighting. So I walked into a gym one day to get just to like start losing weight, get in shape, and fucking around. Like I changed my Instagram name to what it is now, JHD_MMA. 4 months in, and like 2 days after that, amateur promotion reached out to me needing a filler for their co-main event because that guy sold a lot of tickets and they wanted him to fight. And I don't know, I took it. Had no business being in there, but I was able to pull a win out of my ass, and I fell in love with that feeling, man. You feel alive, the adrenaline, the everything. It felt like it gave me purpose, and it was what I was put on this earth to do. So,
Yep,
you know.
exactly. And who was it that you were kind of looking up to in the game when you were just starting out?
Well, I mean, if we're talking like on a grander scale, Anthony Smith is probably the fighter that got me into the UFC. I was watching his fight versus Andrew Sanchez, and it was back and forth, and he was able to land a nice combination and finish him with a knee up against the cage, and it was, bro, there was just something about that. And then I started doing research on the guy, and he started off his career not on the best note, but that Lionheart mentality, man, and to follow someone's career like that, and just something like that, man, it's like a beautiful thing to see, and it was probably the reason that I started pursuing this. Now, if we're talking on a local level, uh, Mark, there's this professional fighter who fought for Combate named Marcus Loretta. He was like probably the first guy to ever really, really take me under his wing, who knew what he was talking about. He was a good guy who helped show me the ropes and helped show me what the behind the scenes were and what this life could possibly be. So owe a lot to him for sure as well.
And if you had to go back and give yourself that one piece of advice, obviously you did say the best piece of advice you've got is to take it serious, but if you had to go back and just change one thing about your game at the start, what would that be?
Listen to yourself a little more. I had some figures around me that were very like, it has to be this way, it has to be this way, it has to be this way. And that's not true, man. For any of the young fighters out there who are just starting out and you have a coach who doesn't want to let you do anything, nothing has to be one specific way. And nobody becomes great doing everything only one way. Broaden your horizons, network, talk your shit, back it up, um, learn from everyone, be a sponge, man. Don't be one sided. Don't be, you know, not everyone has to be your enemy. Go out, make those connections. Anything that can help you, just even if it's a centimeter is a step in the right direction. So just go out there. Don't be closed off to the rest of the community.
And do you like have any like post fight rituals? Like, is there any particular food you like to have? Do you keep a list of food that you want to binge after the fight? Is there anything you like to do specifically after a fight? Are you
Get a beer, man, you know. As soon as a contract is signed, and this one's been signed for a while, it's been a long camp. I cut off everything cold turkey, no beer, no nothing. So usually by the time you get out of a fight, legs hurt a little bit, your face hurts a little bit. A nice beer is always appreciated, you know. Maybe slice of pizza, hang out, but it's not a ritual, man. The only ritual I do actually have is, I like to spend some time with my mom, man. She goes to a lot of the fights, so it is nice to be able to get out of the cage and be like, hey, I'm all right, and then we go get food, hang out, you know. Um, if she's not there, I'll shoot her a call, you know. That's probably my ritual without me even noticing. But yeah, man, nah, it's just spend some time, you know, mom, girlfriend, sister, grandma, family, just hang out.
and how good is it to be able to have that support system around you, having these people not just being there for you, but taking an interest in the sport as well?
Oh man, it's awesome. My mom hates fighting, but she loves me more than she hates fighting. So it's nice, man. It adds extra emotion into it sometimes, but it's a good little push. And it takes a village. This is a hard sport, man. It's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. So when you have a good support system, count your lucky stars and be grateful for it.
Exactly. And you guys are not going to want to miss out on June the 13th when you can see Jacob go into that cage, get that stoppage, and we can't wait to see what's next. Is there anything you're wanting to add or anyone you want to shout out today?
uh Man, don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Watch the pay-per-view, buy the tickets if you're by Memphis. If you're in driving distance, come watch the fight. The main event's gonna be crazy. It's not going 5 rounds. I don't think Roland wants it to go 5 rounds either. This is not one you're gonna want to miss. I'm leaving there, and you be there, be square. You know.
Exactly. We can't wait to see you get that victory. Make sure you guys tune in. It's a fight you definitely don't want to miss out on. Thank you very much.